Hello, Magic Casters of all shapes and sizes. My name is Chance. Welcome to my Spellbook, and thank you so much for tuning in to the 13th episode of our third level spell series. We have a rather interesting spell in store for us, as so far as to say, I think Wizards of the Coast is implying something about certain classes, and if they're not, I would certainly say that this is useful regardless. Today we're going to be taking a look at Crusader's Mantle, which is just such a cool sounding spell, I tell you. It is usable by the Paladin and it is found in the Player's Handbook, so we should all have access to it. Now, a quick aside here, I've never actually seen this spell used in play before. The Paladin has a nasty habit of not really using a lot of spells and instead focusing on smites. And I do think that is a mistake more often than not, but then again it does strongly depend on the campaign you're running. The reason I think it's a mistake, by the way, is you just have so many cool spells. But in any case, let's take a quick look at its mechanics so you can understand exactly what we're talking about. The effect at a glance is as followed. Friendly creatures within the area deal an extra 1d4 radiant damage on a successful weapon attack. The cast time is 1 action, the range is technically self, but the actual area of effect is 30 feet. The duration is 1 minute and it is a concentration spell. The components are verbal, the school's evocation, and the damage type once again is radiant. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at the full description here so we can figure out exactly what we're talking about. Holy power radiates from you in an area within a 30-foot radius, awakening boldness in friendly creatures. Until the spell ends, the aura moves with you, centered on you. While in the aura, each non-hostile creature in the area, including you, deals an extra 1d4 radiant damage when it hits with a weapon attack. Very cool stuff. So a couple things I want to address here really quick. Firstly, technically speaking, there's no direct limit on the amount of creatures that can be affected. Secondly, it doesn't specify humanoids. So if you pair this up with something like, let's say, Animate Dead, Conjure Animals, or various other summoning spells, this has the potential to be very impactful. Also, something worth noting out is it says per weapon attack, which essentially means that this stacks with multi-attack. So, quick note there that's going to be important for a little bit later on. Now, without further ado, let's take a quick moment and check on some alternative uses here. So, this is a very interesting spell in the way that it deals radiant damage. And as I'm sure you know, there are a lot of creatures who take radiant damage a little bit more seriously. That is so far as to say they're vulnerable to it. In addition to that, a lot of those same creatures have very interesting ways of hiding themselves. So if you were to, let's say, use this as a way to inflict small amounts of damage on people to confirm whether or not they belong to these, more often than not, undead types, then I would consider it to be a pretty good use. Outside of that, this is a great spell, same with Ceremony, of arming a militia. By this, what I mean is use this spell to provide an offensive boost. This is especially good in campaigns like Curse of Strahd, for example. And then you use the marriage component of Ceremony to boost their defensive stats. I think that is a very interesting combination. And although I alluded to it a little bit earlier, this is a great way of making sure everyone can put the pain down on certain undeads. Vampires and zombies are great examples of this, as both of them have effects that are nullified by radiant damage. So it's pretty interesting. That being said, if you have any alternative uses, thoughts, questions, concerns, ideas, or stories, please put them down beneath in the comment section. And if you like that nice hand-drawn picture of Sips, please check out the guild hall to figure out exactly how to get your own. That being said, I hope you have a great day, and as always, happy casting, everyone.